2nd, 2015 to order, please. Roll call.
Ralph.
Here.
Bill.
Here.
Kathy. Present. Mary Jane. Here. And Bill is absent.
We need a motion to accept the minutes from the January meeting, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ralph.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Mary Jane. Yes.
I need a motion to approve the warrant and payroll timesheets, please.
I move to be approved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane. Yes. Kathy.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Ralph.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the transfer of the police revenue from the general fund to the police fund, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mary Jane. Yes. Kathy.
Yes.
Ralph.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the police fund monthly operating fund transfer, please.
Approved.
Roll call, please.
Bill.
Yes.
Ralph.
Yes.
Mary Jane. Yes. Kathy.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the interest transfer, please.
I move the interest be transferred to the appropriate funds.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ralph.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Mary Jane. Yes.
And Sheriff Simpson's here to address council tonight. Sheriff, the floor is all yours.
Thanks, sir. Thanks to council and mayor for allowing me to have just a few minutes. I bring to you good news tonight. We have identified a private donor that is going to take care of all of your marks and P&R costs that you had at the end of last year.
That's great.
That amount totaled $44,109.98. So, a couple conditions. The donor will not be identified, and the donor does not want any press releases regarding the donation. I've met with, and the donor is doing this for all the villages in the county.
Didn't know there was any rich people around.
So, I've been to Lewisburg and West Ellick, have been notified of what those two villages are doing, and I did, this is Steve Brunnis, your solicitor.
Yes.
I did reach out to Steve for some guidance on what you folks would need to do, and he suggested that in the future, you probably pass a resolution or ordinance or whatever you folks call it, acknowledging receipt of the donation. That way, for state auditing
Yes.
tracking purposes, you know what happened with that. You will get a letter from the donors advising you of that donation, and with council's permission, I'll work with whoever, maybe the clerk. They will direct wire those funds to the village's account once that time comes. So, very cognizant of the fact that this is a huge technology expense for not only New Paris, but all the villages. And a donor was identified and agreed to help the taxpayers in all the villages in the county. So,
Well, on behalf of the village, please thank very much so whoever the private donor is for this. This is a tremendous help for us because we were really struggling over the cost of the new situation. So we desperately appreciate whoever this donor is doing that to him or her or whoever. So,
certainly.
Mike, could you repeat that amount again?
$44,109.98 is what I came up with.
Okay.
And that's your cost of Motorola and your cost of PNR update.
that's wonderful.
Yes, that is
And
wonderful.
you can, council, it's okay to Jamie to handle all the transfers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll work with Chris to get your
That's for sure
information.
anyway.
We'll just need something, an account number that they can wire that to. I'll call you when that's ready to go. So that's all I have.
Well, that's
all I
quite a
have.
lot.
Well,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
And
If you
thank
have
whoever it
anything
is,
else like that,
who-
Mike, make sure you
whoever
come
it is.
back.
I will. I appreciate it. Need some
Thank you.
Is there some way we can show our appreciation to this individual by letter, by some type of contact through you, things how you know? that-
I'll check with the donor and see.
To show our appreciation, if nothing else, just in letter form or whatever.
Right, I'll check and see, and either through the chief or the clerk.
That's amazing.
I'll get that answer for you.
Wow.
So, okay.
Wonderful, thank you.
All right, all right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tell the party thanks a bunch.
Certainly,
Yeah.
we'll get it through Chris when we get time.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you. I'm good, sir.
All right. Nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
unbelievable. That's cool. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome, take care.
Susan, the floor is yours.
Gee, that's a hard act to follow. Wow, no, I'm gonna be next in line.
You can double that, can't you?
I really came this evening just to kind of update you on where things stand. I know you know about the NatureWorks money that we received. You'll be getting the grant agreement. I have contacted Kent Meixel of Meixel Excavating, and he does demolition work, and I had him come down and take a peek at the school building while he was out and about, no cost. He just kind of did it as a favor to me. And he said that he felt like it could probably be torn down for $150,000 and we would bury it on the site. And that way we wouldn't have all the trucking costs to get it wherever. So basically you dig a hole, bury it, topsoil it back over, and you could do grass, you could do parking lot, whatever you want to do with, that particular area. So I think, knowing that, that's probably kind of, the number we're looking for as far as, trying to find some brownfield money or what have you. Until you know what that number is, it's kind of hard to know, what to go after. That did not also include any kind of remediation that the building might require for asbestos or anything like that.
Right.
So, it's just, I know Rick and I kind of kicked it around, and I said, well, I might know somebody, that could come and take a look at it. And there is a program available through the Ohio EPA where they will actually come out and do a phase 1 environmental, which is where they come out and look at the building and try to identify what type of remediation problems there are, asbestos, lithium, that kind of thing. They will do that for free. They have a program, where they basically pay for that to try to get buildings that have problems taken care of, and they feel like if they can help identify those things, then, maybe it would open the door for some funds to be able to take the building down. The promise is there, but, obviously if you enlist their help, it might be something that they can do to help you. Obviously, the building's not some super fun site by any means. It's not something that the EPA is going to come and say, oh my gosh, you have to tear that down right now. It's a hazard to everybody's health. Well, that's not the case. But I think it maybe could open the door to maybe some financing through them to maybe get the building down. They don't have any quote-unquote money to tear down old school buildings. That's basically what they've said. So, I think it be treated as a brownfield.
Okay.
So,
Do you feel comfortable sticking with the one estimate, or would you feel more comfortable if we had a couple more before we proceed to have the EPA come in and look at the building?
if you guys know somebody else, I don't have a problem with trying to get a hold of somebody else. I did get a number for Steve Roush out of Dayton, and then the more I thought about it, the more I thought the overhead for him to come up here and do it would probably
Right.
end up just, kind of blowing the cost up. So that's kind of why I just went to somebody local that I knew.
Understand
If you know
that.
somebody local, then.
Well, Mary Jane gave me this guy a while ago.
Okay.
This guy's out of Camden.
Okay.
But I'm assuming, Meixel's do a lot of demolition. I'm sure they're going to be in the ballpark. So I would think if it's okay with council to allow Susan to proceed with bringing EPA in for the first stage of this thing, I think it's a good time to get started.
I just really think we need to know what we're looking at before we can do anything else.
So,
And at that point, it may be something, I've done some brownfield stuff before, and I actually did a building where we tore 2/3 of it down and kept 1/3 of it. We rebuilt a wall, and the community ended up selling the property, and it's a commercial property now. I don't know that this is the case, but, there are some things you can do, and there is some leeway, as far as, what we might be able to do with it. And it may end up that it's just better to tear it all down and put a community building up or something that, is, more economical to heat and take care of and that kind of thing. I don't know.
Right. Well, we've looked at it, and we're all mostly under the impression that, there's some consideration about the gym, but the rest of the building is definitely going to come down. There's been no decisions about the gym, but there has been some walkthrough, and we had Steve's, Kathy's husband,
In
and
fact, I think
And Doug.
Doug
somebody
Kramer
around
there.
came.
So,
I think they were included in that package. I'm pretty sure.
oh, was it? I was
I
unaware of the
believe
route.
somebody did come over and just take a look at it.
Well, if council agrees to that, we'll have Susan make contact with EPA, and let's get the first step out of the way.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Do you need that in a motion?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Better.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we have Susan contact EPA to move forward on this old school building. So it's going to go to step 2.
There's a second.
that.
Roll call, please.
Ralph,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes. The West Cherry Street is currently in the design phase. I hope by the time we have our March meeting, that we'll be in a position that we'll be ready to make a motion down here for bids. That's my plan. We are going to be doing the west end as an alternate bid. So if the numbers would come in, low enough, there's a chance that we can do part or all of the remainder. The county CDBG applications, that information's come out. You might have gotten a packet in the mail. The first public hearing is on Wednesday this week at 9 o'clock at the Commissioner's office. I'm going to go, if somebody wants to go, fine. It's not really
We
important.
don't
Last
really
year,
have
I was
anything,
the
we don't
only
really have
one.
anything in the pipeline.
That's not really a pipeline.
Okay, that's just to be,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just the first public hearing. Last year, I went, and I was the only one, even there, there was nobody there.
Right.
So, it's
Have a private hearing.
yeah, I guess it was, but the weather was really bad that day, so that might have been part of it too. But anyway, so I will be there on Wednesday, but you need to be thinking about that. The applications are due March the 20th, so you'll only have one more meeting before the applications are due. So I didn't know if you guys were interested in either a formula project and/or a competitive set-aside project. The last competitive set-aside that we submitted was for Shady Lane, which we've since paved. We submitted West Cherry Street last year, hoping they'd give us some money to do the rest of it, which we didn't get. But I don't know that we really want to go back there, because if they would give us the money, we wouldn't be able to put it with the project we have now, because it wouldn't be here soon enough, because it wouldn't be available until about this time next year. But it would be there if you didn't get the project done. Or the other option is, I know that we had looked at East Main Street, and we had done some estimates for on past Hutton Street, down in that area, if you're interested in, maybe pursuing that. Or if you've got something else that you think you'd like to think about, that's fine too. I will caution you that with this competitive set-aside thing that goes on, the commissioners have kind of tried to target the formula money towards projects that are going to go on for the competitive set-asides. And the reason for that is they get extra points at the state level in the competitive round if they put some of their local money in it. Does you understand what I'm
Explain, no.
Okay.
I mean.
Basically, what happened is a couple years ago, the county gets an allotment of money, CDBG money every year. And that's going to be about $99,000 this year. And so they take applications, and then the commissioners decide who to give that money to for projects that are eligible for CDBG money, which would be infrastructure, demolition, acquisition, road projects, things like that. A couple years ago, they came out with these programs called competitive set-asides. There's one for like downtown revitalization activities. There's one for neighborhood revitalization, which we used on Spring Street. We used it on Burley Street, and we used it on Holly Mills. Those were the three. You've gotten three, and those were the three. And we combined them with some other projects, so it gets a little convoluted. And then they also have a new program out called Critical Infrastructure that's been out about 2 years. And it basically targets things like water or wastewater, something that's more of a concentrated activity that serves everybody and not just like a street in a neighborhood. So those 3 programs, you can get a $300,000 grant from any of those. And so what happens is the state gives those applications extra points if the county gives some of their $99,000 to those people. We've done that before, when we did the 3 neighborhood revitalization projects that we have. Camden got money last year. The year before that, it was West Alexandria and I think it was just West Alexandria. No, Lewisburg never got any of that money. I think it was just West Alexandria because Harrison Township applied and Harrison Township didn't get funded. And then they turned around and applied again last year. It was Harrison Township and Camden, and Camden got the money, but Harrison Township didn't. So anyway, so with that being the case, there's these different pots of money out there that, you can apply for. Well, if the community decides to go after those dollars, then the county tries to prepare their money with it. So, we may want to think about going in that direction just simply because you're probably going to be more apt to get money for that. It might be something where we want to look at East Cherry Street and we have the issue 2 application down there that's in the pipeline, and maybe we want to try to see about doing another section of that and trying to put that together to do all of it at one time with the $300,000, on the competitive set aside, which we would probably want to apply for next year, because you wouldn't be ready for your issue 2 money until 17. So that might be something that we want to think about, maybe moving towards to make that a bigger project. If you want to put something in this year, just to kind of ready yourself that time. If you want to do something that we've already got an estimate for, just to kind of throw it in the pot, we can. I know Lewisburg is going to be applying for some money if they want to do a downtown, and they want to apply for it this year. I know El Dorado is looking to apply, but they don't want any money this year. They want to go off for another year yet. So I do know those 2 communities, for sure.
It would be better though to have your name in there and be turned down than not
Yeah.
have
It's
your name
always
in there
good
at all.
to be-
Yeah, I
it's
think
always
so.
Good to have a project in the pipeline.
I think that would be a good thing, and, even if it's about, getting your name out there, letting them know what you're doing, that you're thinking ahead, I don't think that can ever go wrong, and I think we've done that in the past, and we've been successful because, we didn't just go running in and say, we need the money right now. We've done some planning and trying to plan ahead.
And we're in the pipeline, we're at those meetings, we can always say, well, New Paris would like to move it back a year because, the funding, for whatever reason, but at least we're in the pipeline, we're on the board, they're seeing us, it's always good to be in the
Yeah,
pipeline.
I would agree with that too.
And it could be that if we put those 2 together, you could get some extra points on your East Mill Street or East Cherry Street application that we have in for the issue 2, and it could be that maybe we could cut down some of the local match even,
Right.
compare it right. Depending on how the numbers came out. So, that's, an option too, to try to maybe put that together. So I don't know if you have any other, thoughts, any other things going on in town that need attention specifically. Obviously we could ask for money for demo for the school building, but you're probably looking at maybe $40,000 is what you're gonna get from them, and that's, not really gonna be close to what you need.
Well, I think main consideration would be to be finished Maine or Cherry. Cherries travel a lot more than Maine is. It'd be my thoughts that it would be nice to try to do Cherry as far as we could go with that.
Yeah.
That's my thought on this, and the rest of it's on the
We're already,
council side.
we're gonna do the West Cherry.
Yes,
Right. Yes.
West Cherry is the project we're designing
that's coming
now.
this year.
And East Cherry is the one that was kind of down in the pipeline. But we've got the east end, which goes from the Corp line to Spring Street, and that's like phase 1. So we don't really have anything going yet for Spring Street to Washington Street. So that might be where we could do something with, one of these competitive set-asides. we want to do
That
that.
come and pass, we get to that whole street, one end to the other, just about.
That, it's always nice to be able to finish one completely. So that's why I say my thoughts would be to continue on Cherry if possible, with council, up to council. Mary Jane, you got a problem with Cherry?
No, I haven't.
Kathy?
No, I think that's a good idea.
Sounds like that's the direction we need to go. You need a motion for
Yes,
that?
please.
Need a motion for her to apply for.
I'll make that motion for Susan to apply for that grant.
For Cherry Street Phase 2 is what we're
Phase
calling.
Cherry Street Phase 2. Need a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Bill,
Yes.
Ralph,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Laura?
I wanted to ask you about the other grant that you gave me, and I didn't bring it tonight. I didn't think you would be here.
That's all right.
But anyway, it was about cleaning out Shane's ditch in
Yeah.
Rocky Fork.
Yes.
And you had mentioned something about possibly someone coming in and go walking that or
Yeah, we can do that.
on some money.
If that's what you think.
But I don't remember when the application was due.
I don't remember either, but I can look that up. That's not good to do. I didn't bring that with me, but I can look and see and we can try to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get that information
Okay.
again, then we'll take a look at it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, Susan, thank you very
All right,
much.
you're very welcome, thank you.
I know you're busy, so feel free.
Okay, yeah, if you don't care,
Not at all.
I actually have not a council meeting, but it's a meeting on some acquisition of some land that they plan to.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, committee reports, safety chief.
The police department handled 76 calls for service in January. We took 14 reports, made 1 arrest, issued 7 citations and 17 warnings. Our new officer, Officer Hamilton, he's out on his own, has been now for a month or so, and seems to be doing a good job. We're also going to try, we've got an application for an auxiliary officer, which is not paid. He's actually the assistant chief of Gratis right now. Probably gonna come up and start with us here. He actually rode with us this past Friday. So, you see a new fresh face in the car, probably him. Like I said, he'll be auxiliary, he will not be paid. So.
Okay, thank you, chief. Building?
I have something on the building.
Go ahead, sir.
Question. There's a window broke out of the building
Thank you, Susan.
at the pump house over here. Is that part of the BPA's responsibility, or is that our responsibility as far as the building, the two buildings together?
I would assume that would fall under BPA, but I would assume that it's all part of the community. I don't know that we could,
No, I just
whatever happened,
wondered
whatever
whether on the building, and whether that was BPA's responsibility over there, or this over here was our own.
That window doesn't, there was some discussion in one of your meetings about that window, wasn't it, to be replaced, Kevin?
What's that? I missed it.
The window over here,
On the east side of the building on the pump house?
was there discussion in your meeting about that?
There was discussion about putting in new windows at one time.
But not repairing the one that's there now.
Is it broke out or?
It's covered with tape now. Got a hole in it.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. I know, we had talked about putting in new windows in it, insulated glass, but I didn't realize it was one broke. I'll find out.
In the lower corner of it.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else on that? All right, thank you. Streets, I don't know of anything pressing, other than getting through winter here. So, other than Eddie's doing a fine job, and I think by next meeting, his 90-day probation period, I think, will be up next meeting, correct? So, but he's doing a fine job. Lights,
We've got 4 lights out in the village. We've been in contact with Miami Valley Lighting. They're supposed to be here tomorrow and see them and take care of 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
A couple of them, they were waiting on parts, the way I understand, before they could repair them, but there are 4 on the list for repair. Hopefully we'll get them soon, because 3 of them's right downtown, middle of town, on Washington Street.
All right. Sanitation, Mary Jane, you good deal?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Planning, I have nothing. BPA?
Apparently you have a window broken.
Just some out of the window.
Other than that, nothing, no.
All right.
I do have something else, already. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was contacted, I don't know what category it would come under, whether it be planning or new business or whatever, but I was contacted, a gentleman at 302 Wren Street. He has an area in front of his house that he'd like to make a parking area out of, either with gravel or with some type of a pad. Didn't know whether that needed to go to planning or whether,
So,
pardon?
oh,
And I told him that I would bring it up, and then I would let him know what his next move would have to be, because I couldn't answer his questions. It's not actually a driveway he wants to have, it's just a parking area in a grassy area right now that he wants to either put gravel or blacktop or concrete in that spot in front of his house to make a parking for his own personal use.
All right. Did you look at it, Ralph?
I did look at
You're
it.
sitting on the planning.
I did look at it, but
Is there any water lines, any of that stuff that's going to be an issue?
Not that I'm aware of, I don't think there's going to be an issue there.
Maybe we ought to look at that a little deeper before we give them an answer.
Yes. But I wanted to get with the parties that
All right.
would make that choice, because I didn't want to do it alone.
Okay, we'll get, I'll get with Jeff and ask him about any situation up there, and then we'll address it. Okay? 302 Ring.
302 Ren.
All right. All right. Pardon me?
I think it will.
Okay. Old business, Chief, I'm going to have to apologize to you. Neil's been down so much, I have not been able to meet with Neil and Ralph at the same time. Hopefully Neil is going to be gets a little better here so we can hold that meeting. I promise I'll have the review for next month. I just haven't wanted to bother Neil because he's had such a tough time here in the last month. So. New business. Don't know.
Mayor,
Oh, sorry.
I just have a question.
Yes.
The situation with the alley on the east side of the Methodist Church property, between that, is that resolved? Do we know?
I do not know.
I haven't heard any more about it.
I'm assuming the gentleman was going to make contact with Jeff, the pastor, and I have not heard.
Presumably, it's got taken care of.
Assumingly, I've not heard from the gentleman, so I don't know, but I have not heard anything else about it, so apparently they've got it taken care of.
what about the alleys? There, from Cherry to Main Street. They were saying, Jana, by your house.
There's been some potholes filled.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
Cherry,
wondering.
okay. New business, don't have anything. Pretty short tonight. So, if nothing else, the next meeting will be March 2nd, 2015 at 7 p.m. I would need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.